and welcome to a brand new episode of Never Seen It. I'm your host today, Betsy, and with me is Trent.
Hey, Betsy.
Trent, we are continuing on episode number 3 in our bad movie series with a movie from 1999 that I have seen and somehow you have never, ever watched. But in the last episode, expressed we're excited to see. That's right, we are watching Wild Wild West. So Trent, why are you excited to watch Wild Wild West?
Because I know it is notoriously bad, but maybe in a fun way. I'm really looking forward to having fun with this one, mainly because I'm watching it with you and you alone. You have some kind of weird history with this. Every time we bring it up, just in conversation, your eyes just kind of brighten up a little bit, as if you have something to say about it.
Which is weird because I don't really have any particular attachment to this.
Okay.
It's just surprising to me that you've made it nearly 26 years and you've never watched this. Like, my history with it is not much more than yours. I saw this in the theater. I think I've maybe seen it one other time since then. However, I know you and I have one thing very much in common, and it's the song that goes with this fucking movie.
The song that will never die. I might even say, depending on the time of the year and what mood I'm in, I might say Wild Wild West is a better song than the Men in Black song.
I will not hesitate. I will agree with you. It's
sometimes.
Full stop.
Oh.
Wild Wild West is a better song. Like, I sing Wild Wild West to myself frequently.
Yeah, you do.
Versus Men in Black, where I'm just like, man, it's okay. It's fine.
Okay.
I've gotten to that place where I'm beyond Men in Black and I'm a Wild Wild West girly as far as the song is concerned.
All right, fine.
But we're not here to talk exclusively about the song. We will talk about it, I'm sure, when we get further in the episode. But we're here to talk about the movie. Trent, what do you know about Wild Wild West?
The famous thing about Will Smith and Wild Wild West is that he passed on being Neo in The Matrix. You know, Matrix.
The Matrix, the thing his wife did say yes to?
Yeah, he passed on being Neo to play whatever the fuck his name is in Wild Wild West. And yeah, big mistake, dude.
Huge.
Big mistake.
Huge mistake. And I think he has even said, well, that was fucking stupid.
Yeah. But beyond that famous mistake, it's a comedy based in the Old West. And is this actually a comic book too? Is it based on a comic book?
I don't think it's a comic book, but it was based on a TV show. I think this is the era in the 90s where we were taking old TV shows and turning them into movies, and this was amongst them.
Maverick being another really famous one because that was James Garner back in the 60s.
Yes, that was one. Mission Impossible was one.
Yeah.
The Saint. There's a lot of them, and probably way more than you realize.
Probably.
And then it just kept going, like Josie and the Pussycats came out not long after this movie did.
You're not wrong, yeah. I know Kevin Kline is in the movie. I think he's his partner. And I think they're also like lawmen who are going after, oh God, who is it? It's Kenneth Branagh is the bad guy. Loveless.
Because
I remember the lyric.
Everything you know about this movie is in the song. That's what you just have to say. That's your entire knowledge base.
And I know that there's a giant mechanical spider at the end, I think. That's the big MacGuffin, maybe.
I mean, so far you're on the right track, Trent.
And it's like weirdly steampunk.
Because why not?
Sure. All good things need to be steampunk.
What we needed in 1999 was a steampunk Western.
Clearly,
which is why this was such a smoldering success, and everyone loves it to this day.
Oh yeah. Other than those things, I know there's a fucking train because, of course, there's a train in the Old West.
Gotta have a train.
Yeah, there's a lady. I'm sure there's got to be some kind of a lady.
There is a lady, but do you know who it is?
No.
Okay, well you'll recognize her.
I really don't.
You will recognize her. She is someone of note.
Okay, fine. But no, I got nothing else. I am very much looking forward to this. I really hope that I don't hate it. I hope that I can have some fun with it. But We shall see. I might come back after the break and just completely shit on it. I am fully prepared for both results.
You just want this to be fun bad because that's where we are in this series.
I can't hate the people in this movie. That's really where I'm coming from here.
Well, let's go find out together. We're going to go and watch Wild Wild West, and we will be right back. And we're back. That was Wild Wild West. Trent, what do you think?
That was an immensely stupid movie.
I don't know, Trent. As we've been watching these bad movies, I thought this one was a breath of fresh air. It's like the joke in the movie, get it?
I wish you could see my face right now because I had high hopes for this movie. As you just listened to in the intro we did, about 2 hours ago. And I'm here to tell you, I am immensely disappointed in everything. The writers, the director, the actors, the whoever put the money up to make this movie, for everybody involved. The stuff I was just reading is that the studio knew. They knew that it was a pile of shit, and they put it out anyway.
Well, what else are you supposed to do? At this point in his career, Will Smith is like the biggest box office movie star. Every summer, we got to put out a Will Smith movie, and it makes shit tons of money. And this is clearly some kind of trying to recapture the magic that was Men in Black.
Yeah.
Because it's Barry Sonnenfeld, it's Will Smith. He's got that kind of same energy.
He's being paired up with another kind of older white guy who is also known to be... I mean, Kevin Kline is more of a comedic actor than Tommy Lee Jones ever was, but I think
he has gravitas.
That dynamic worked better. But while I was reading, in the process of kind of testing out the movie, they put this in front of test audiences, and they found from the test audience that the people watching it didn't know that it was supposed to be a comedy. So they had to go back and reshoot a lot of the stuff in this movie and add in some comedic bits because they couldn't put it out like that.
It was falling so flat that people didn't even get that it was a comedy.
Yeah. At some point, I kind of stopped taking notes, and that right there is a sign that I'm either paying very, very close attention to a movie that is just capturing me. The other instance of that would be like, I just don't care. You've
entirely given up on the movie.
I've checked out. I have nothing else to receive from this movie. It's not giving me anything. Why should I fucking bother?
It's also the thing where it's kind of hard to even tell what this movie's about. Like, what is the plot and what is the point? You've got this, like, evil genius who is trying to take over America because he's mad about the South losing the Civil War. But it's not about the South. It's about him.
Yeah, he wants to have his own piece of land, and he has people who are backing him, who are pissed off at the Louisiana Purchase.
Oh, yeah, it's all the people mad at America coming together to take over America.
To take over the lot of land that became the U.S.
Yes, so the Brits are going to regain control of the 13 original colonies. The French are going to get the Louisiana Purchase. The Spanish are going to get that swath of the South going into Florida.
Yep.
Mexico is getting California, Arizona, Texas, all of that. And then Loveless gets everything else. So congratulations, Trent, because we now live in Loveless land. That's where we were on the map.
We're not far from France. It's just a stone's throw. So
we're right next door. We're right next door. But
oh my God.
Getting to that plot point takes 2/3 of the movie. Up until that point, you're literally wondering, what are we up to? What is the mission?
Why is anything happening here? What is the actual mission? Because at the beginning, Will Smith tells his story about somebody coming into a village where he was and murdering a whole bunch of families. And he thinks that it's this general, this old Confederate general.
It's Toretto, Trent.
It's Toretto, Brian. It's always been Toretto. It's that guy.
That actor.
And that's all well and fine. He's got a revenge tale, and he just happens to be butting heads against this other guy who's going after the same general. And for the life of me, I cannot think. I know this is another movie trope where two professionals come together going after the same person and then they team up. But for the life of me, I cannot think of one because this movie has infected my brain. I can't think right. But whatever it is, it's a bad one of those.
It's a common trope. It's like, here's an example, Tango and Cash. Two guys by themselves, and they're forced to work together to defeat the bad guy. You know, that's a common one. It's something that they have rehashed over and over and over again. And it's not like it entirely doesn't work. I just think the majority of the movie doesn't work.
Yeah.
I am such a Kevin Kline apologist that I loved watching him every moment on this screen. It didn't matter how stupid it was. I know it's stupid. I know, Trent. I'm not saying what was in here was good, but I love him so much.
You can put your blinders on and ignore the rest of the movie and just focus in on him and his comedy, and you can get something out of that.
Yes.
I get that. I can't do that because I've not seen the movie yet. But during the entirety of the watch here, I was trying to find the funny. I was trying to find some kind of enjoyment in the runtime. I didn't find it.
Yeah, you could have shaved time off, but based on what you just said, it's because it wasn't funny and people didn't get it that they had to add to the movie.
Yeah.
Like, this should, by rights, be about 80 minutes long.
The things that they added were all the slapstick shit that I don't really get down with. And if you're marketing this towards children, which I know they weren't.
Yeah, who is the target demographic if that's the case?
I don't know. It's certainly not people who liked the TV show, because the people who were involved in the TV show completely disavow this movie. They hate it.
I can't imagine why.
Apparently, one of the guys from the TV show was invited to have a cameo. He was given a copy of the script, and he said, "No, I'm not going to be part of this." And even after the fact, he said as much, like, "No, this is trash. I do not want to be associated with this."
And it's not exactly one that gets brought up a lot. Like, this movie has pretty well been left to die in 1999. Like, I don't know people who love this movie, even when it was out. Like, you were a kid and you saw it. I don't know a single person who can defend this movie and will say, yeah, it's bad, but I love it anyway. Like, yeah, this is bad. I was having a good time, but I was laying there going, this movie's real stupid. This is stupid.
And you can enjoy, I think, a stupider movie than I can.
Your level of tolerance is much lower than mine is.
Yeah, and my delineation between a stupid movie and a dumb movie that I can actually enjoy is very apparent. Like, I can enjoy a really dumbass movie that I'm just going to have fun with, but this is devoid of any kind of enjoyment.
This is insulting to you and your sensibilities.
It kind of is. It's almost trying to be a smart movie with all of these historical touchstones and grounding it in some kind of reality, because it's right after the end of the Civil War
and the Continental Railroad.
Yeah, it's all of these historical things happening, but it's all of this other shit thrown in.
But also, it's a comedy.
Also, it's a comedy with a very well-dressed black man in the part of a country where you would literally be lynched for talking back to a white person. And when they're throwing in so much of, him making his jokes from a 21st century standpoint.
Yeah, he's a 21st century guy in 1869. There is no point of this movie where Will Smith is trying to fit in.
This character does not exist in this world. And even Kevin Kline's character doesn't really exist either.
I would argue that none of the people in this movie fit in the world that has been designed for them.
I'm nodding my head. That is also true. So they didn't even try that hard to ground it in that reality. It's just, hey, remember the Civil War? It's kind of around then. Okay, bye. They didn't even try.
Also, we're going to throw in some jokes about the Confederacy and a black guy and then a legless guy. And every joke is just like, doubling down on, I am making fun of you in a way that feels kind of inappropriate.
And even in 1999, some of the stuff here is extremely inappropriate.
It's like they're saying it without saying it, but you and I are smart enough to know what they're saying.
One of the first interactions that Will Smith has with the people who meet him after he gets dumped out of the water, one of the guys is about to call him the N-word.
And he punches him in the face.
Yeah, before he has a chance.
Hilarious!
Ha-ha!
What a fun movie!
And yeah, I don't really know what to say about that, but it's just so disappointing. I wanted to have some kind of fun with it.
You couldn't even have fun with this one?
No,
I was
really
having fun
can't.
because it's just real stupid.
And I think that's because you have an appreciation for Kevin Kline that I've never had. I like the guy. I think he's really funny in other things, but I think he and Kenneth Branagh, of all people, are putting in the biggest effort that you possibly can
to try to save this.
To elevate this movie to a point where it might be enjoyable. And Will Smith seems to be here, and it's all about him.
Yes,
he wants it to all be about him.
This is the Will Smith show, which is why Will Smith has a fucking song in this movie, because this was the era where he is the biggest box office moneymaker. And it was kind of a running thing where we had to give Will Smith a song in the movie, even though it really had only happened the one time.
Yeah.
It literally had only happened once, but it feels like a thing.
Yeah, this is 3 of 3 of his big movies, like his summer blockbusters.
96, 97, 99.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So in 1999, he's feeling kind of bulletproof here, no pun intended. And this movie comes out, and how did it happen? And then from there, what does his career become? He never, after this movie, he never got it back.
He never was the box office draw he used to be.
No, I think the closest thing you got was a movie like I Am Legend. But that,
see, and I disagree because I didn't see that movie for years. I just didn't give a shit.
It was a big deal, though.
I didn't think it was that big a deal. That was my perspective on it, though.
I also remember there being a huge backlash to the ending of that movie, but I think it was a pretty big success.
The other one I was thinking of was Hitch, which he made a couple years later. It's like a rom-com, and he got to do something fun and funny.
It is.
But those are sort of the flukes in this thing. There was never a moment after this movie, after Wild Wild West was an utter failure, that he was ever the same box office draw again.
Yeah, and speaking of this being a failure, obviously it was a huge budget. This has a $150 million budget. It did end up making money worldwide. If it was just released in the US and Canada, it would have lost a whole bunch of money. But another thing I read was one of the only reasons that it's an unspoken thing, but the studio exec said, if it wasn't for teenagers buying a ticket to go and see Wild Wild West and then going and sneaking into American Pie and the South Park movie that were both in the theaters at the same time, if it weren't for those twerps, they wouldn't have made any fucking money.
So all the money that should have gone to those movies was going to Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
That's funny. Because in 1999, there was a lot in the theater that has lived on. It was a big movie year. And this is just one of many that summer. One of many. And I can't remember, as far as like when I saw this, if I actually saw this in the theater or I didn't see it until afterwards. The thing I do remember was it was one of those summer blockbuster movies that they cross-promoted the hell out of. Like the marketing was fucking everywhere. Like they were shoving it down our throats. They wanted this movie to be a big deal. The movie of the summer.
And again, going back to the studio, knowing that this movie ain't great, what do we say about movies that get the marketing just shoved down your throat? Those are the movies that they know it's bad and they need to get as many people to the box office the first couple of weeks before word of mouth spreads saying that it's a piece of shit.
With rare exception.
Yeah.
That is usually the rule, though. The thing that I remember, and this is so specific and strange, Trent, this is how excited I was at the concept of this movie and how cool I thought Will Smith looked in this movie. Because it is like the one thing I will say that's really good is he was the first, like, cool black guy in, you know, cowboy gear. Like, this wasn't really common. He looks good in this movie.
Fine.
Props to the costumer.
Costuming, fantastic.
Burger King did a cross promotion where if you bought like their Whopper meal or something, you could get a pair of his sunglasses from this movie.
Oh, God.
I got the fucking sunglasses, Trent. I can't even wear them. I wear glasses. I would have to take off my glasses. I could not see because I was like, I'm going to look cool just like Will Smith. I did not look cool.
No.
I couldn't tell you what happened to those either, but I definitely was like, I want them. They look so cool.
Well, remember back when Men in Black was a thing?
It was a thing for Will Smith.
The Ray-Ban sunglasses became such a huge thing. And Ray-Ban as a brand was nobody before Men in Black.
So it's like they're trying so hard to really cash in on the goodwill of the people, on the success of Men in Black, and trying to do it again.
Corporate interests getting involved in stuff that they should not get involved in.
Okay, speaking of corporate interests, we have to mention the fact that there is one moment of product placement without actual product placement in this movie.
I am usually really good about pointing these out, but I have no idea what you're about to say.
I think you do because Trent, when the general, when he finally catches up to that guy, Loveless has shot him, and the general has had his ear blasted off, and he's got one of those, like, what do you call that?
I don't know.
A thing
Just call it a hearing aid.
Sure, a hearing aid, but it's a big metal tube thing so he can pick up the sound, an amplifier.
Yeah.
And he's on the ground, bleeding to death, and a little doggy out of nowhere,
little white dog,
stares into it and tilts its head. I don't know, maybe like the fucking RCA logo from Once Upon a Time. Did that look at all familiar to you, Trent?
Yeah, it really did.
Why is that in this movie? I assume because RCA chucked out some money to be involved.
I mean, RCA kind of was still a brand in 1999. It was on the downturn.
Maybe the problem was they invested all the rest of their money in Wild Wild West. It was a failure, and then the company went under.
Yeah, that's
causation, correlation. I don't know.
That's what it is. It's not because they made really inferior products,
or that this movie is terrible, or anything like that.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of product placement, we do have to take a quick break for a word from our sponsor, so we will be right back.
Critics everywhere are raving about patreon.com/neverseenitpod. Superfan Stephanie says, all this for $5 a month? Incredible. Phineas Butterfield of the New England Journal of Medicine calls it available content. Betsy's grandma says, what's a podcast? Don't miss your chance to experience this phenomenon. Join today.
Hey, remember how Salma Hayek is in this movie?
I do.
Why? Because she's barely in it. She shows up at the beginning. We don't really draw attention to her. She shows up again. Slowly, it is revealed that she's trying to infiltrate this group, as is everybody else, to figure out where her father, quote unquote, is.
Yeah, and maybe if this was a better movie, you would have been able to integrate her further as actually part of the real plot. Either she's actually with Loveless and is trying to infiltrate these two people who are trying to take down Loveless, or she's another government agent. That's where I was thinking she was a part of this. But no, she's just a gal whose husband was kidnapped. Okay.
And we don't even reveal that it's her husband until the very, very end of the movie.
Sure.
And there's big stretches of the movie where she disappears. Like, she doesn't get to be funny. She doesn't get to do any big action sequences. She's just kind of there. And then there's a scene where they show her ass. Because we need to see her ass crack hanging out of the pajamas.
Because it's funny?
Because it's funny. There's really no other purpose for her being in this movie. And, you know, she's on the fucking poster. So you would expect her to be a major player in this movie, but she's barely in the beginning. She's gone for 20 plus minutes, and then she just keeps kind of coming and going.
Yeah, this is also like her fourth or fifth movie or something, because she got her start with movies like From Dusk Till Dawn. Desperado is in like 1998.
I think it was earlier than that.
Okay, still.
But anyway, it's early in her career.
In the same year as this movie, Dogma came out. She's a very big part of that. But she's very much still Salma Hayek. I think she's a great actress. I think they don't give her enough to do.
No,
except just be the woman with the tits out everywhere.
you could cut her entirely from this movie, and I don't think the movie would be changed at all.
I think you're right.
Because
Cut out that entire subplot of her trying to get after her quote unquote dad.
and then the other two guys just sort of lusting after her. Like, it's
Right.
making like a weird dynamic, like, oh, she likes me better. No, she likes me better.
And then she can have a little reprise of the thing that she said earlier about, oh, he's so resourceful, he's so handsome, he's so this, he's so that. Okay.
It would be way better if she had something to do where, like you said, she turned out to be like a double agent, or everyone in
what I
this movie,
wanted.
everyone in this movie works for the U.S. government. Like
Yes.
it keeps being like, oh, I'm a U.S. Marshal, and I'm a U.S. Marshal. Plot twist, I'm a U.S. Marshal. Why not her? Like, maybe she could also do it, because then there'd be this like feminist moment where she's like, what? A girl could do it too. Anything.
In her Selma Hayek accent.
I love her. I love her so much. And she's not bad in this movie. She just doesn't have very much to do.
Yeah, and maybe that's part of it. Maybe she showed up on set and everybody loved her to the point where the director said, you know what? You got spunk, kid. I want to put you in more stuff. Let's find a way to get Selma more lines.
When they're adding to the movie, they added more of her.
Maybe.
Or maybe she wasn't in it at all, and then they added her when they were adding stuff
That's
later.
a lot harder.
I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just saying it would make more sense.
Yeah,
Like you're
think-
just sort of trying to stuff it in there.
Speaking of things that they added, I think, if I'm not wrong, what I read was the scene where Will Smith gets dropped down into the bowels of this spider thing and he's fighting against Knife Man and the other couple of guys.
No more Mr. Knife Guy.
No more. Yeah. Yep. They said
Anyway, that sequence, like they milked that one.
That sequence there was not in the original cut. They added that after the fact.
Maybe that explains why when that guy with the big chrome dome dies, there's no reason.
There's no
He gets
reason for that to be
electrocuted.
there.
How did that happen? What happened?
What the fuck happened?
You and I were both like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Because there's not like something hanging. There's no mechanical wires.
He
There's
gives
nothing.
him this big ass wrench, and then there's like a spark in his face, and he dies. Fine. Why? Okay.
Inexplicably.
What the fuck? I did not see any mention of that guy in the trivia, but I also didn't read a lot of it.
It's not important.
Because again, I kind of just don't care.
You checked out completely at a certain point, I think.
Honestly, I stopped writing kind of a lot of notes after Salma Hayek got onto the train. That's like halfway through the movie.
Because nothing really happens. Like, we're on a train, we're trying to catch Loveless, and then there's a giant spider, and we kidnap the president, and we're going to take over America,
there's
but for
also-
all the wrong reasons.
There's also the running joke about Kevin Kline being in a disguise, being the president, which, by the way, we need to watch Dave eventually.
We really do. The fact that this guy has played the president and an impersonator of the president
Twice.
2 times in separate movies. And Dave is a much better movie than
I've
this.
never seen Dave.
I
but
think you'll
Betsy-
enjoy Dave.
Betsy is a huge evangelist of Dave.
People have forgotten Dave, and it's really a shame because it is a delightful little movie that everybody should see. It's really funny. People you would not expect in that movie have big roles in it. So I'm just going to stop talking about Dave because we're not here to talk about Dave.
Betsy, there's not much else to fucking talk about.
Okay, I want to talk about Kenneth Branagh.
Fine.
So do you think he's good or bad in this movie?
I think he is excellent. I think he is excellent at being this scorned. I don't even know what the fuck his like title was in the Confederate Army. I can't remember if he said it or not.
Like a captain or a major or something.
Whatever. He was a guy who was blown the fuck up and somehow survived and figured out a way to put himself into this chair, this steampunk fucking chair, and suddenly has an axe to grind against anybody who decided to surrender to the US.
And he is obviously doing a very ridiculous accent because this is a man who is not from America doing this over-the-top Southern accent with ridiculous facial hair. And I want to say kind of a mullet. It's
Betsy,
kind of a mullet.
Okay, this is one thing that I got out of this trivia. Sir Kenneth Branagh.
Sir Kenneth Branagh.
Yes, self-deprecatingly joked that his accent in the movie might be the worst American accent performed by a British actor. You know,
Yep.
I'm saying that I kind of liked it because it was bad.
You at least think he might have been in on the fact that it's a bad movie.
I think so.
Like
I think he is trying
he's doing
to put,
what he can.
He's trying to put so much of what he can into this role to try to have it explode out of him to make up for the fact that there's nothing of substance actually coming out of his mouth.
He's at least having a good time with it. If he's
Yeah.
got to be in this movie, he's going to have fun.
When he's doing his evil plot scheme in front of the big map, like the redrawn map of the United States, he's having a great time at the very least. But then we have to also talk about what happens to distract him. This scene here was probably the most uncomfortable I have felt watching a scene in a movie for a very, very long time.
Oh, are you referring to the fact that Will Smith gets dressed as like a harem girl and starts doing a sexy silk dance? That upset you?
For some reason, I don't know where they said the quote unquote name, but it was something to the effect of like Ebony.
I think he called her Ebonia or Ebania.
Yeah, something like
yeah,
that.
like a play on ebony.
Uh-huh.
That is what he said to Will Smith.
And
doing drag.
The fact that he's just laying out his evil plot here and he is immediately distracted away from whatever it is that he's saying in front of all of these military people, in front of all of these dignitaries, in front of everybody, including the president. He's distracted by the man in drag.
He's getting a metaphorical boner because he doesn't have a dick because his bottom half is blown off.
Yeah.
But he can still enjoy the ladies.
Yeah.
All of this makes total sense, Trent.
This
makes perfect sense.
Sucked.
This movie is impeccably written, and there's no holes in the logic whatsoever. Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry at all.
Again, I wish everybody out there could just see my face because I'm so sad. I'm sad by this movie's existence. I had a good time, at the very least, talking about Geely. I had a better time talking about the Scorpion King and a better time watching the movie. At least there was maybe something there. I find kind of no redeeming qualities about this movie.
Oh, that's fascinating to me.
It's not like horrible garbage. And I think that's the rub. If it was horrible garbage, I can at least respect it from afar. Okay, it didn't work. You put all the effort into it. Fine. Not every movie is going to work.
Are you saying this movie is not bad enough?
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. It's that attitude coming out of me now.
Oh, man. I was just sitting there thinking about the fact that the two leads of this movie both have Academy Awards, and Kenneth Branagh does too. Not for acting, but he does have one now.
He does.
And Salma Hayek got nominated for one. The four leads of this movie have given performances worthy of the Academy's attention, have written things worthy of the Academy's attention. And they all got together and they made Wild Wild West.
I mean, the check cleared, so.
It did. What are they going to do about it? You can't take it back now.
Yeah.
So it'd be remiss of me not to come back to the fact that there is a very well-known song attached to this movie.
Oh, there's more than one, but we'll get there.
We're getting there. So Wild Wild West, you and I grew up in the 90s. It was really, really hard to avoid this song on the radio. So you and I, literally even today, I don't know the last time I heard this song. I hear this song often and more often than you would think because I have it in my iTunes. So if I'm out for a walk and it's on shuffle, this song comes up once in a while.
And you're never going to skip a song like this because it's fucking fun.
It's a fucking banger. And as I said before, I will stand by this statement. It is a better song than Men in Black. I can't explain why I feel that way. I just do. But this came out.
I think it's something to do with Cisco.
This came out pre-Thong Song when he was still in Drew Hill, and I didn't know what that was. I didn't know who Cisco was. It was like years later. Years later when I put two and two together that was the same guy. And then you've also got Stevie Wonder in the music video because he's sampling a Stevie Wonder song for the track, because that is what rap is. They take well-known samples and then they modernize it. And Will Smith in particular did a lot of that.
Oh, sure. Even back in his 90s days with being the Fresh Prince and everything like that. But you mentioned, hearing this on the radio. You never had cable TV when you were a kid, so I was also inundated with the music video when I watched MTV, and I watched MTV a whole lot back in those days. It was a really great music video as well, including Cisco. Cisco was a prominent thing in there, and that just launched him into stardom after the Thong song came out as well.
Because he's a great performer. At
Yeah.
those times, he was very recognizable.
Yeah.
And it was just another element. Like, I'm pretty sure that song topped the charts in advance of the movie coming out. Given the fact that you knew going in that this movie was horse shit, you would need every ounce of goodwill you could muster. And the best way to do that is to put this track out and make it a hit before you see the movie.
Get some hype going, yeah.
And then you and I both know what a big deal Millennium was. That fucking album when that came out. We were all getting jiggy with it in 1999 or in 98.
Everybody was.
This song is on that album. Like literally, the version I have is the album version where he is talking to itty bitty baby Jaden Smith.
That's right.
And he
in
says,
the intro.
"What should I do next?" And the little bitty voice says, "Wild Wild West." Well, we did that one. Wild Wild West. Cut to, okay, we're going to put Wild Wild West on this album. Like
Sure.
it's the bonus track. I never had the album. I don't know where it falls. I assume it's at the end somewhere.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
All I know is I am never unhappy when this song comes on.
And it's also one of those songs where it is an extremely easy to memorize set of lyrics because there's a lot of really easy rhymes. There's a lot of repeating themes. And
It's almost like Will Smith's not that good of a rapper.
he's not. That's not to say anything bad about the guy.
He's a very 1980s rapper where
Yeah.
it was a lot simpler and we weren't trying to one up each other. Like it's become much more of an art form for a lot of people.
Yeah.
He was of the old school type of rapping.
Will Smith is the guy who's going to sell records.
Yes.
He's not out there to say something.
No, he has no message behind what he is rapping about.
Yeah.
Summertime. Like,
Right.
what the fuck, Will Smith? Why are
Parents just don't understand,
Parents
Betsy.
just don't understand, Trent.
But no,
I'm getting jiggy with it.
what I was not getting jiggy with, Betsy, I watched the rest of the credits. You and I both.
Oh, I wasn't
were
leaving before Wild Wild West was
I
done.
was extremely surprised at another track that was at the very, very end of the credits. What the hell is Enrique Iglesias doing on this soundtrack?
The unmistakable intro to Bailamos, also out in 1999, starts playing, and you and I both looked at each other.
If you fuckers did not listen or watch the rest of Wild Wild West, go and watch all of it. It's there. Bailamos. Let the rhythm take you over. Bailamos is at the end of this fucking movie. It's not even the whole song.
No, it's just enough to get you to the end of the credits because they had a huge budget for special effects, which means the credits are really long, but Wild Wild West is not a long enough song for the entirety of the credits. And there isn't much score to write home about in this movie, so they just picked another song that's on the same record label, I guess.
I don't know. Why?
Because that song also exploded around this time.
It did, but it has nothing. I mean,
Has nothing to do with this movie.
with Wild Wild West, the movie.
No, but you and I are just like, Bailamos.
If Enrique,
let the rhythm take
Betsy,
you over.
if Enrique made a cameo in this movie, I would have understood it.
Nobody
and
knew who he
I would
was.
have applauded it. Thank you.
But nobody knew who he was in 99. It
No.
was just a hair too early. Just a hair. And then that song exploded. But I had no idea it was on the soundtrack.
Before the Latin explosion.
We hadn't
And
lived La Vida Loca yet.
Maybe that's why. 1998 was about the beginning of the Latin sensation, whatever you want to call it. So maybe they thought he was going to be a thing, or maybe the track was already getting some traction, and they just threw it in there because they needed to fill out the rest of the credits. I don't know. That's the only thing I can think of. But why the fuck is it here?
I wasn't mad about it being there. It just doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense.
Because again, I think back to the summer of 1999. I was having a great time in my life. You know,
Sure.
I got to see The Mummy in the movie theater. I got Wild Wild West. The Latin invasion was upon us. Like, come on. What's
You
not
were
to
living
love?
La Vida
I was
Loca.
living La Vida Loca when I was 14 years old.
God, we're old, Betsy.
We are quite old. But it doesn't mean we can't still have fun in life. So I'm really sorry you didn't have fun watching this movie. But do you have anything else you want to rail against? Or do you have anything where you want to say something nice about Wild Wild West before we wrap this up?
There's one thing that I have to say. Probably the grossest thing I've maybe ever seen in a movie. And that's saying something. It's Toretto, Brian. It's always been Toretto. Guy, he's sitting down somewhere. He's got this ear apparatus thing on the side of his head, and he tips it down, and the fucking earwax comes out of it.
Pussy, green.
Seriously, Betsy.
Nasty.
It wasn't even green. It was like orange.
It was gross.
It was quite possibly the grossest thing I've ever seen. And that's not even like gory, pustule-filled apparatus. No, it's just secretions from a body.
And it's just there to be there. It doesn't really serve any kind of purpose.
Not at all. It's just there to have a reminder that he's a gross man.
But do you buy into what I'm saying here, where there's a tone to this movie, a mood where it feels very much like Men in Black, but Men in Black done really badly? Like there's sort of this goofy thing that goes on in Men in Black, but where that one is actually funny and the special effects are good and it's a little bit more well-rounded, where you can follow what the plot is and you know who the bad guy is and you know everybody's motivations. This one is lacking so many of those elements, but the spirit is still there because it's the same director and he has made the decision to go down that road where it's like similar.
The only thing I can say that would improve this movie.
Oh, just one? I think you have a long list.
It's really big. It's a really big thing. Men in Black is very, very big. This is fucking aliens, and aliens have been around for fucking ever. They're amongst us. That's a big concept.
They built a world.
Yes. This movie is very down to earth. And the biggest thing is the giant mechanical spider. That's cool. For 1869, that is a marvelous thing to witness. But you could have expanded upon that. We had witnessed there's a city in this place. What's that city about? Is it a giant steampunk city? Let me live there. Let me go there and see it.
We didn't explore it. We didn't see it up close. It was
Nothing.
Just, here it is from a distance, and then we're inside. And I had to even go, wait, what are we inside? Are we in the spider? Where are we?
Yeah.
And then later they reveal, oh no, they're down in that valley in his like secret laboratory.
Sure. And you needed to have it be bigger in every way.
Like if you want to go silly, go full silly. If you want to do
silly.
special effects, go bigger. If you
Give
want
me
to have
a fucking steampunk gun. Have him rig something up.
If you want to do gross out shit, get really gross. Like push it farther.
Yeah.
Anything to make it an improvement.
But I feel like they just kept on trying to ground it in a way that did not serve the audience in one bit. And even when they got onto the flying machine, of course, it's 1869. They haven't figured out aerodynamics yet. That's all they can do. So they rigged up the rocket-fueled penny farthing onto this flying contraption, and they drop in on them, and then there's a big fight, and it's the end of the movie.
And there's some explosions, and no one gets the girl because plot twist, she was off limits the whole time. Remember how she hasn't been in the movie for 20 minutes? Well, she's back, and now it's over.
And then they crab walk their way into the sunset.
And now they're the
The
Secret
end.
Service.
Right.
And I don't have any context for what the TV show was.
No,
So
I got none.
a part of me would love to go back and see like how big a leap this is. Or if it was like an eccentric inventor and then the cool guy who gets all the girls, if that was the dynamic.
Like, was the show just a fucking Western? And all of this extra stuff that they bolted onto it, is that completely extraneous?
No idea. No idea. But
Maybe
as I
that's
said,
why the guy who was involved in the original TV show wanted nothing to do with it.
Trent, it's the same problem Hollywood has always had. They love IP. And they don't care at what cost. They are just going to push this garbage out if they think it will make them money. And unfortunately for us, this one did make them some money. But luckily, it wasn't enough that they continued on. It stopped here. We got one Wild Wild West and now it's over. We don't have to see it. We don't have to talk about it anymore.
Thank God.
So with that, I'm going to end this episode. We're not going to talk anymore about Wild Wild West. However, we would love to know from you, dear listeners, have you watched Wild Wild West? Are you a defender? Are you the one person who will tell Trent he is wrong in every way and this is why? Please send us those thoughts to neverseenitpod@gmail.com. We got an email from our superfan Stephanie, not about our bad movie series, but rather a movie that she just recently watched for the first time that we covered last year during our month of female-led movies. That's right, Stephanie watched Bottoms. And here's what she has to say about it. This movie was so ridiculous. It reminded me of the health class scenes from Mean Girls. Every single scene is basically like the gym teacher telling them that if they have sex, they will get pregnant and die, but with more fucks and violence. That is a fair assessment of Bottoms.
Sounds like a good movie to me.
This is definitely a movie where I will need to watch it again just to catch more weirdness in the background and keep a better eye on Hazel, who is absolutely my favorite. The actors are also gloriously over the top. Oh my God, Marshawn Lynch is a horrible teacher, and wow, the fight scenes are crazy. I loved this and totally get the Daria parallels you brought up.
Thank you.
I watched My Old Ass this week and really liked it. It's a weird little coming-of-age movie that I think you would like. Love you guys from Superfan Stephanie.
I have heard that about My Old Ass.
It's not the kind of movie you think it's going to be. That's the other thing I've heard about it. Like, it's surprisingly deeper than the title would suggest.
Sure.
But yes, Bottoms is an insane movie that I think about often because it is just, I knew it was going to be ridiculous, but it is so much more ridiculous than I could have even imagined.
You never expect them to go so far, so often in a movie like that. And that's the thing. It isn't a movie like that. You have to get your mind out of what you think it's going to be. It's not Fight Club in high school. It's not this. It's not that. It is just what it is.
But thank you, Stephanie, for sending that email. Let this be a note to all of our listeners. You don't have to send us an email about a movie that we covered recently. If you just watched a movie for the first time that we covered 3 years ago on this podcast, go back and listen to that episode. Play the home game if you really want to. You listen to our intro, you go watch the movie, then you come back and see what we thought about the film.
And if you're not sure if we've covered a movie, just go to your podcast app, hit search, and you can search your library if you're subscribed to us already. It'll tell you.
Because we love to hear what you thought about a movie, even if it was ages ago, because that's why we're here. We're here to talk about movies, and we love hearing from you. So again, that email address, neverseenitpod@gmail.com. If you want even more movie coverage, you can also go to patreon.com/neverseenitpod, where we've got a lot of extra episodes. We've been doing this over a year with multiple shows. We're covering horror. We're covering rom-coms. We are doing the thing that Trent despises, where we are not in control of the year and the time that we will be watching a movie from. And we are forced to pick a movie to watch from that time. And Trent hates not being in control of his own destiny.
I like to be able to plan the movies that we're going to cover.
Nope, not going to happen, Trent. This is the one exception.
Not for that show.
But yes, all of that, patreon.com/neverseenitpod, $5 a month gets you everything on that site.
And I said it last week too, but just a reminder, just recently, Apple decided that they wanted to steal some of your money or our money by charging you extra if you sign up via the Patreon app. To avoid those extra charges, just go to the website on a computer, do it at work, they're not going to catch you.
How would they know, Trent? How would they know?
How would they know? But yes, patreon.com/neverseenitpod, $5 a month gets you access to all of our shows. It's not just about movies too. We got some other shows out there that is just us talking. And by the results of the poll that I put up recently, the Conversation Pit show is some of your favorite stuff. So
and it's just us talking.
It's just us talking about a topic. So go check it out.
But with that, that is going to do it for this week. However, we have one more bad movie for the month of March.
And I promised everybody that 2 of the episodes we're doing this month are going to be notoriously bad. And next week, we're going to do the thing that is probably ill-advised, but it's what everybody's already done already, and we've never seen the movie. We're going to watch The Room. Finally, Tommy Wiseau is going to have an appearance on this show.
I have so many feelings about the fact we're watching The Room, but you're going to have to come back next week to hear what those feelings are. So until then, we thank you for listening. My name is Betsy.
My name's Trent.
And we'll see you later.
Wild Wild West.